Hello, everyone, to yet another enticing episode of iPredict Conversations, where visionaries from the industry share thought provoking predictions for the rest to build upon. These days, apprehensions and an awe amongst technology enthusiasts is on roll, with the emergence of generative artificial intelligence. Generative AI, as we know of it, powered by deep learning algorithms and neural networks, has this remarkable ability to create original content. While this technology holds immense potential, it is also raising sensitive ethical and societal questions that demands our attention. So, on that notion, let me introduce our visionary on the panel today. Amit Mathur, the CIO of ElevateBio, a prominent organization set out to be the world's most indispensable cell and gene therapy technology company. Amit is one of the unparalleled industry leader when it comes to experience and knowledge in healthcare and life sciences sector. And to steer the discussion, we have HCLTech leader Bill Stith, Executive Vice President, Life Sciences and Healthcare. He comes with 30 years of experience in this industry and has passion around technology that drives and improves patient lives.
It's a pleasure to speak with you again today.
Likewise, Bill, and thank you, Ishita, for the lovely introduction.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts and interest areas which you believe will drive large digital transformations in the biotech and life science industry.
Asking that question, and Bill, there is a huge wave of generative AI which is picking up in the industry, right? I do feel that in life sciences industry there can be three outcomes that we can look at from drug manufacturing to patient perspective. One is really the outcome of these generative AI technologies leading to a point where it can give you cheaper drugs, right? Or it can, give you high quality or higher quality drugs at a pace which is faster than the current market practices, right? So really cheap, fast, and high quality is what we are working towards. And what I'm seeing as a trend is that, number of platform companies, number of enterprise companies, they're embedding these generative AI solutions into their platforms, which is ultimately leading to the result. Our audience, when you look at artificial intelligence, we have sometimes overcomplicated the definition, right? Artificial intelligence, to me is really you give computers the ability to do intelligent things. But in that definition, there is no way it is written that they are supposed to do things which are exactly like human intelligence. They are supposed to do intelligent things which could be different than the way humans have been tuned towards doing intelligent things. And second is, if you look at machine learning, it's basically a smart way for machines to act and use data, right? And bring some smart intelligence into it. What I'm seeing is basically both sides of the ecosystem working together, which is actually building the algorithms even without data and brute forcing it into the solutions, or developing machine learning algorithms which are based out of billions of data. And I've seen some of the really good outcomes where both the sides of the worlds are getting merged together and coming up with a solution which is just tying back to the patients an outcome which is really good for them.
That is exciting. That's definitely an area that is necessary, right? So as you said, you can have the best drug in the world and the best intentions, but if the patient doesn't know how to follow the procedures and doesn't know how to follow interactions, then you can have problems.
Yeah. If a drug cannot, or if these technologies cannot resolve the life of the patient at the end of it, right, they're of no good use to us in the industry, because that is the outcome we are always working on 24/7.
Got it. So I hear a lot lately, concern and even fear in the news and even around my own dinner table around generative AI. What concerns do you have?
I mean, look, these are really new foundational technologies that are picking up with a wave. And one of the big concerns that I have is actually around the data bias, which gets seeped into the algorithms or the training data advertently or inadvertently. A lot of times, and we've seen in our tech industry for over last 2 to 3 decades, when the world was in mainframe and then growing towards cloud computing, and now as we are advancing towards high degree computing, it's really the way the decisions are being made and the data that is used for this training capability, right, is sometimes unknowingly people may fill in the data that is not right either, or a bias can seep in, which can really give you an outcome or a result that actually looks pretty okay. But if you look into the intricacies and details, it's actually based on some sort of data which is available on internet, which is not a very reliable source, I would say. So reliability of the outcome and the bias of data is actually seeping into the, you call it like a AI risk management practice specific to the industry or even broadly. I think those are two things that we should definitely be mindful about.
With regards to realizing the potential of large digital transformations in our industry, what do you see as the biggest roadblock?
I mean, large business transformations, Bill, in my opinion, are as complex as it used to be even back then. And I think the fundamentals have not changed. Although the oversighting or overlying technologies have changed. Like, for example, if I compare with be it mainframe, the whole analytics wave that seeped in, then cloud computing, and companies moving away from legacy systems more towards the cloud world, or even today when quantum computing is seeping in or metaverse type things are seeping in, the broad landscape with the business has not changed. And really, to make a big digital transformation project happen or execute it, you really have to create some sort of fusion teams. In our tech ecosystem, we also call it IT citizenship model. You have digital co-champions, those type of models flourishing. And I emphasize heavily on that time and again the data comes across where if you look at any business area, supply chain, human resources, finance, quality, like QA, QC in our industry, manufacturing, R&D, the data suggests around 21% odd. So basically 1 out of 5 people in their departments are actually tech digital enthusiasts, or they are bound to do digital things. It comes again and again in their feedback lessons that they need more digital advancement and help from so-called IT AI type of teams. And what it tells me is that there is an immediate emphasis and need in our industry right now to create this fusion team concept much more with the wave of AI that is seeping in and what we will see in the next sort of 10 years or so.
Yeah, so if you really look at that and actually achieving the transformation, right? Do you see these as preventing or merely just impacting the timing of when the business will see the value?
Well, it's actually both in a way, right? If you think about timing, more than timing, it can actually make sure to come up with a digital solution or transformation or an outcome that is more meaningful to the business. It's closer to the business. And in our previous example, it is actually getting closer to the patients in life sciences, right? Really coming up with that outcome. I think it is preventive in the sense that tech people can say that, oh, you're taking a step back, but it's actually you are not advancing at a pace that you are tuned to so that you can take business hand in hand. If you go 2 steps ahead or advance faster, it's not that business cannot, right? It's just that they lose you there. So I just feel in order for business to be with you, it may look from periphery or from outskirts that, oh, you are slowing down, but actually you are not slowing down. You are taking them together and aligning with them to take it forward. Because at the end of that business transformation, you want an outcome which is like really impactful.
Right. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, without that end, everybody agreeing to the end and what you want to achieve, it's difficult to get it. So certainly, at HCLTech, we have a lot of customers in healthcare, biotech, and life sciences in the area of research and development, supply chain, and manufacturing, many of which we're helping with proof of concepts, development and implementation of different solutions that utilize these new technologies. What do you see as a budding technology that will drive the largest transformation in one of these areas?
That's it's a high prediction area because of the wave of things that we see, and the broader context that we are hearing in the industry, Bill, really is around. You start with AI, ML, digital twin, quantum computing, cloud, taking it to 3D printing, all that. But there is one technology that definitely excites me personally a lot, and I see a meaningful outcome of that happening not only in life sciences, but I guess in every industry, cross-functionally, right? That one technology to me is digital twin and the impact of digital twin that can happen in the next, so to speak, 4 to 5 years. And I try to, when I'm talking about digital twin more in terms of blending it with metaverse, other AR, VR type technologies together, right? For me, just taking the model really to the simplistic understanding, it's like, your virtual model which can accurately depict a physical object or something like that. So if you have a process which is physically there, think about a big manufacturing plant which has hundreds of processes, equipments, both hardware, software, doing stuff. If you want to virtually mimic that environment into a certain a format, right, and then come up with outcome where you can also tend to generate data which is meaningful. It's like the virtual data that you can create. You look at our life sciences area. If I see the manufacturing side of a cell and gene therapy company like ours, which is into advanced science space, process variability and scalability is a huge issue, because you cannot replicate the process as you are giving individualized drugs to these patients on a very individual basis. So replicating a process 1,000 times or scaling it up becomes a humongous challenge. Like, the second thing is really around vein-to-vein turnaround time, right from the time of collecting the sample from the patient up till manufacturing and giving the refined goods in a really good supply chain optimization way. And when you look at both sort of the areas in manufacturing, there are a number of processes. If you individually take each process and start creating twin, there can be an outcome which is similar and impactful to what autonomous industry in automobiles have seen. I think that there is a lot of work to happen, right? But it's not a very far-fetched idea with metaverse wave picking up. It's a similar concept in my opinion, and there's a lot of work to be done. But if you look at manufacturing as an industry, be it automobile, be it life sciences, healthcare, others, it's not, there are a number of processes. It's not that different. We use bioreactors versus they use something else, right? So it's really collection of the data in a cloud environment, and what do you do with that data?
Sure. That's fascinating use case. I'm really seeing and tapping into this next generation of people that are working and consuming, right, the products. I think for me, as I look at and talk to people about artificial intelligence, one of the things that is a barrier, shuts people down, is the fear around that AI will take away jobs. What do you think about that?
Well, classic debate. I think, if I look at every other tech wave, we might have, in some way or form, we might have heard it. Remember the time when, cell phones came in, right? And from cell phones came the video calling aspect, or when the world launched the first TV, right? And suddenly there was this fear, what will happen to the radio, right, as an industry. And then you look at robotics, there was this humongous wave, both on the time when you see the real-time robotics versus RPA as well, robotic process automation, that holy geez, like someone else is going to take up the job. But I do feel that human intelligence is way more superior than the intelligence of the machine, which is coded by humans, even though they become very, very smart to either synthesize data or even come up with an outcome in an intelligent manner, because we have something known as adaptability and we adapt pretty quickly. And we have shown that if you look at today in every area, and particularly tying back in life sciences, what this wave can do for our scientists, and these are really some of the world's smartest scientists. If you give them a very intelligent machine which is actually developed by humans, the outcome that can come together with that sort of fusion team can be miraculous. It can be faster. It's they call it in silico clinical trials at times, and it has still to pick up. But one guy can churn humongous amount of data and do those things, and then humans, which is scientists or manufacturing staff, can do amazing things. So I do feel there is an opportunity for them to collaborate and augment together, rather than they taking away job. And the last point is, you may want to take it in the right spirit, that debate, because you really have to upskill yourself, be it on AI or what AI can do. Once you upskill yourself in every area, there are ways to identify how you can really speed up things from the current trends. If you're not upskilling yourself, then I think then there is a problem. Right?
No, absolutely. No, I agree. You can't stay away from progress, right? It's just how do you adapt?
Can't stay away from progress. And I learned this long back, and one of the advice that when there is a wave or a big transformation happening in the world, don't try to get into the debate too much, right? Like, just accept it, because it's bound to happen. It's a way of life. AI is a way of life. Accept it and figure out the ways and guardrails really to manage it and to work with it.